All right, so I just watched the first two episodes of Agatha All Along. This is, of course, the latest MCU Disney Plus show, and I can't say that this has been the most anticipated MCU Disney Plus show. I think that most people's reaction when we learned that this was going to be a thing was, huh? ¿Por qué? Like, I will say though, I have always been a little weirded out by like the overt negativity surrounding it, just because it's like I was there for WandaVision. I remember how much everybody loved Agatha, and even more so than that, I remember how much everybody loved Catherine Hahn's performance as Agatha. So it's like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that anybody was like clamoring to see Agatha get her own spin-off show. I'm not saying that, but it's like the people that are like shocked and aghast of like, why would Marvel even make this? It's like, well, she was a popular character. just to be clear. But either way, whether we wanted it or not, Marvel has been threatening us with it, and we now have Agatha All Along. Well, the first two episodes. And I gotta say, I enjoyed them. You know, the first episode is very much like in line with WandaVision, where, you know, if you remember WandaVision, every episode was like a parody of a sitcom, and every episode went like or sequentially went through different eras of sitcoms. Sort of in that vein, the first episode of Agatha All Along is very much a parody of like a detective series, you know, like Criminal Minds or NCIS or whatever. And Agatha is very much still under Wanda's spell that she was left in, or that she was left under at the end of WandaVision. So we do get some more of that like WandaVision type of storytelling here, and it is interesting. And I do like it. And I don't want to necessarily spoil anything here in my first video about the show. I think, by the way, once we get to episode 3, I'll just be doing spoilery reviews of the episodes. But by the time you get to the second episode, it becomes very clear that that this isn't going to be like a straight up just we're doing WandaVision again, where every episode is like a parody of a different thing. It's like by the time you get to the second episode, it does become like obvious that, okay, so we're not just going to do the same thing again. This is going to be more of a traditional TV show, which I'm okay with. Like, don't get me wrong, I think if like every episode was like a different genre of TV show, I like that could have been cool, but I'm also totally fine with them not wanting to just rehash WandaVision again. But yeah, like, oops, sorry. Agatha, right? Catherine Hahn as Agatha. I mean, she's as great as ever. She like Catherine Hahn is just such a great actress. I love seeing her in anything. And she delivers as Agatha. You know, she is as like she's as like as much of like an asshole as Agatha was, but still being likable in a way that, you know, I think Catherine Hahn can uniquely pull off. I kind of accidentally flashed to her, but Aubrey Plaza's also in the show, and she's also great. Like, her scenes with Catherine Hahn, I think, are really great. And she's kind of being positioned as the antagonist of the show, but also I'm not entirely sure if that's where it's going to end up, but it is kind of interesting. But yeah, she's great. This character is also interesting. This is kind of the character where they're kind of like trying to bring back the, like, I will say the one kind of desperate part about the show is that it feels like they're like really trying to bring back the like the water cooler aspect of WandaVision, where every week everybody was like theorizing about, oh, what's going on? Oh, who's this guy, and when's Mephisto showing up? This is a character where they're like really laying it thick that, oh, it's a mystery of who is he? Who could he possibly be? Oh, what's the reveal going to be of who is this character? And I will say it does feel a little desperate, especially the way that they go about keeping it a secret. It's like, okay, dude. Now I will say this is something that people were theorizing before the show came out, so I'm not using any knowledge that I have about the show in order to talk about what I'm going to say, but people have been theorizing that the character is Wiccan, who is a character in the comic books that I don't really know anything about, but in like a cursory Google search that I just did before starting the video, apparently in some iterations he's like one of Wanda's kids, which I don't really know how that would work here, because it's like obviously like our Wanda didn't have any kids. Like, is it possible that this character is like a figment of Wanda that's been left behind since she obviously died in Multiverse of Madness? I don't know. Even after watching the 2 episodes, I don't really know. So, anyways, if anybody has like proper theories about who exactly he is, or if he is Wiccan and how that could possibly work after watching the 2 episodes, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But I like the character in the show. I think the actor's doing a fine enough job, and I think the character's pretty likable. He's kind of like a fanboy of Agatha. He's like a guy who's just like read up on witches, and so he's kind of like trying to he's like trying to learn magic, I guess. And so he's kind of like following Agatha around, and he's a cute character. There's also like a bunch of like 3 other like side characters. So these are all like witches that Agatha is like trying to recruit. And I think they're all pretty good. Like they're all fun characters. We kind of they have some exposition talking about their backstories and whatnot, and I like them so far. They're I think in episode 3 is when I think we'll really sort of continue to flesh out all these characters, but yeah, I like them all so far. Like there hasn't been a character yet where I'm like, oh, this guy sucks or whatever. So that's good. The other aspect about the show so far is that it is kind of trying to be a little spooky, like none of it is like overtly like horrifying, like, oh my gosh, jump scare. Oh, like so far all the like spookiness is very much like fun scary, where it is genuinely kind of creepy and genuinely kind of unsettling, but it's also like nothing that's going to like make you check make you like I don't know, not want to sleep in the dark or anything like that. Like you're not going to be looking under your bed to make sure that this thing that I saw in Agatha all along is going to come get me. It's nothing like that, but again, it's fun scary, and I think that's the ultimate compliment that I can give this show, is that it is going to be a fun show to watch during the spooky season. I think that it's totally fun for that reason. But yeah, overall, looking at the first 2 episodes, I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as WandaVision yet. It doesn't quite have that hook of WandaVision where, I feel like we were immediately like hooked by the whole like sitcom aspect to it, and then we get introduced to like the fact that this is all in Wanda's mind, and that it's all there's the emotional hook of it all being Wanda grieving and dealing with her grief and whatnot, and what is grief if not persevering or whatever, or what is grief if not love persevering, I think. I don't know, whatever the Vision quote is, but we haven't been introduced to any either like really neat hooks like the whole sitcom thing, and we also haven't necessarily been introduced to any like really strong emotional hooks yet. But so far the show is fun. I think if you like the tone of WandaVision, again, this is trying to do its own thing by just being like a fun witch show, kind of like fun spooky show. But I do think that at the end of the day, if you had fun with the whole sitcom thing in WandaVision, I think you will likely have fun with this. I think you will enjoy it. I feel like it's especially trying to like go for like the Hocus Pocus crowd. I remember when Hocus Pocus 2, like they just randomly like shot that on Disney Plus a couple years ago, and it was like weirdly like a massive ratings hit for them. So I didn't watch Hocus Pocus 2, But I assume that if you watch that, they're also kind of trying to aim that show at you as well. So, yeah. Overall, I like it. Don't love it. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.